Alright, hello my son and love. Today I'm going to be making a video for you on showing you how to use your razor and how to shave. So, first things first, when you shave, I'm going to do two videos. I'm going to do a shave and showing you kind of how to do the trim with it and how this part, how these two, just trying to drop everywhere. I'm going to be showing you how these two connect and then how to use the different sizing and what that means and everything. And then after I trim everything up, I'm then going to show you how to get this down to a finer point. So, and talk a little bit about a few other things. So first thing first, whenever you're shaving, whether there's a little bit of hair or a lot of bit of hair, you're gonna leave stuff on the sink. Now for me, because I'm going to be shaving a lot of hair, what I have done is I have taken the liberties of putting down an old shirt. And that's going to catch all my hairs. And then when I'm done, I'm going to fold that up and I'm going to take it outside and I'm going to shake it out and put it in the wash. So this is a great way to how to do it. Now, if you only have a little bit of hair, what you can do is after you shaved and there's hair in here, don't leave it. Nobody likes hair in the sink. What you're going to do is you're going to take a paper towel or you're going to take a little bit of toilet paper and you're going to get a little wet and then you're going to wipe it out and so it sticks it to it and then you're going to throw that in the trash. Do not rinse your hair down the drain. You're going to end up with a clogged drain. Okay? That's very important. Now, I'll put you back into my holder. We'll start with the thing. So, on this thing, there are some numbers. It goes to 3 to 5, I believe. All right? 1 to 5. 1 being the smallest, 5 being the furthest out it can go. See? Okay? And that has to do with how long you want it. So, if you decide that you start growing something and you want it to stay, but you need to keep it trimmed and looking nice, then this is a great handy tool for you because the edges here on this thing actually cut and help act as a trimmer. So this is a 2-in-1. Now, what I'm doing is on the back here, it's a little spot that this fits into, snaps into place, and it holds it like so. You can adjust it once it's attached, as well as once it's off. So then, okay. Since today I'm going to be shaving all the way to demonstrate how to shave once you get all the way off, I'm going to start with it on 1. So I'm going to get everything trimmed down to nice and small, and then I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to show you how to shave with, when you want to shave it actually your face clean, whether it's a mustache or the rest of your face. So this part is pretty simple. I'm just going to hit the power on button, and then you're going against the grain. So see how my hair naturally wants to go down? Because I'm shaving it off. I'm rolling it through the grain. These aren't really great for taking off this much hair. It'd be better if you had a clipper, but it will do. So every once in a while you're going to shave for a little bit, and then I'm taking it down and shaking it over my shirt to get the hair out, so that I can continue to cut well. See, nice bit of hair taken off there. Shaking it, and continuing on. Going up against the grain right now, so that it catches the hair. So this is one of the things that is important when you're trying to shave things down. If I was trying to get it just, because if I go this way, it doesn't actually cut anything, it just pushes it down. So I'm going against the grain to get it nice and shaved. Okay. This side's almost done. Once you get this down to a nice short level. And so see, this short level leaves hair here. So if I wanted to maintain a nice, really short, just some stuff stubble, then this would be that. If I were to be trimming this for myself normally I would have this on a 5. But since I'm trimming it down so that I can cut it all the way, I'm gonna go that. Since this is probably the thickest part of my beard is my goatee. This area right here is called a goatee. If you just leave it, take all this off and just leave this area, it's called a goatee. But my goatee is the thickest part of my beard, and so it's going to take a little bit more work to do than the rest of my areas. I'm getting hair in my mouth. Ooh. I'm talking while shaving. So I'm going to stop now, and I'm just going to shave. But again, notice I'm going against the grain. Now, if I don't notice, right there, I'm moving my cheek to make this more of a firm pressure that I can put pressure on when I shave. And I'll be doing that when I do the actual shaving as well. Because you get the best shave when your skin is pulled tight. Now we're going to do the mustache. I'm going to go a little bit against the grain here. Going a little bit with the grain there so that I'm not shoving a bunch of hairs up my nose. Now we're doing the same thing on this cheek as I did on the other side. Okay, I just about got everything short down to 1. Now, whether you decided to shave a beard, goatee, mustache, and you had some length of hair with a traditional razor, it's always best to get it trimmed down to about this length before you use a traditional razor. Because if you use a traditional razor when my hair is long, you're not actually going to be able to shave it. It's just going to get clogged up and stuck. Now, I can't remember if the kit comes with one of these. This is a brush for the prongs on the end here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to brush this out right here. On this side and on the back. And so, because both sides of this have these parts that cut. And I'm going to be using both sides of this now once I start using the actual shave here. This clears out some of the hair and gives it the ability to cut a little better. You do not want to be doing this while this is on. If you do that, then you end up cutting this little brush and it's going to become a lot less useful and you end up clogging the tips. So, all right, we got this down. So now I'm going to try to use the motion for this as close to what I'd be using with a traditional razor, so that if you ever don't have one of these and you need to use a traditional razor, you can. But these are super handy. These Phillips One Blade are great. All right, so turning back on. I'm starting underneath, and this is what you do with the traditional razor as well. You're gonna kind of curl this up. You do that all the way up to your chin line right here. You're gonna do that all down your neck up to here. Now, the Adam's apple becomes tricky. You get hairs that are still here. And so what you do, you can actually pull the hair, the skin a little bit off to your side of your Adam's apple so that you don't cut yourself with a traditional razor, and so you can actually get it. This, sometimes you gotta get a little creative on which direction you're going around it to get it all. You just gotta be real careful in this area to not nuke yourself. Then you're going to be over here. You're going to kind of go at an angle, kind of towards your ears. You could also come away from your ears, kind of like that, and kind of coming across the beard. You can come down as well, but the best is going to be kind of coming across. So I'm coming across the beard. You can kind of come down to kind of clean up this side. Now in here, I'll do the other side. And then see how sometimes I'm doing this, it stretches the skin to get a little bit closer to the shape. Again, I'm kind of coming across the beard. Now this is easier to do, always with a mirror, so you can watch what you're doing. So then you can see if you missed any spots, and anything else you gotta do. Now we're gonna get to the goatee. And usually, you're gonna go down. Now, when it gets to here, see how it's all ridged and bumped and everything? And so you kind of tuck your lips in and you push them together and firm up in this area to help you get all the spots and get nice tight skin. Otherwise, you're going to be trying to fight your lip and it doesn't really work. Now, if you were using a traditional razor, you don't want to do this dry. At the very minimum, you want soap, but it's much better to have shaving cream that you can lather up everywhere. That'll also help you see where you've gotten, because the cream will be pulling off. Because if you do it with a dry razor, you're more likely to ding yourself and you get what's called razor burn. And it causes a bit of soreness and itchiness all around here. So now we're getting to the lip. Again, I'm going to manipulate my mouth so that this part is nice and tight. I'm pulling down my lip. And with a traditional razor, you're doing the kind of same thing. You can come across. And you're gonna feel it. Now, unless you're using a traditional razor, it's never gonna be smooth. You'll feel just a little bit here, and that's perfectly okay. Now I'm looking in the mirror. Is there anywhere I missed? I'm using my fingers to kind of pull some skin tight because underneath my neck didn't get quite as clean as I was hoping. Now, this took quite a while because we were shaving a lot of hair. If you are staying up on top of it, you're shaving, I don't know, every day or so, it only will take you a couple minutes to do a quick touch up on the shaving. But that is essentially how we shave. So, hopefully this video is helpful to you and in your endeavors as you're learning and as you're growing your facial hair. And yeah, I'm done. So again, this is going to be pretty covered in hair, and so I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to brush this over the spot that I'm going to clean. So I'm brushing it out right now, both the back and the front. So then I gotta come in the back here, you know, as well as up here, anywhere that there's gonna be hair, even on the bottom, like on this part right here. So that's shaving in a nutshell. Now, here's a good thing to know. There are a lot of things out there, and there's things that are just called aftershave. It's alcohol, and it burns if you put it on your face. It's not, studies have shown that's actually not a very good thing to be putting on your skin. So what I'm gonna do now, because my skin's raw, when you shave like that, you get a little bit of what's called razor burn when you get that close to your face, is I'm actually gonna put just a little bit of argan oil in my hand. I'm gonna rub it together just to help moisturize the skin, because your skin needs the moisture because it's kind of burned a little bit. And I'm gonna dab it on all around, help that moisture be in there and to help it not have any lumps or anything, ingrown hairs, and help your face just be smooth and clean. And that's shaving, and that's aftercare. So let me know if you have any questions, bub. I love you so very much.